Hello everyone, welcome back to another director ranking, this time Quentin Tarantino, one of the most prolific directors of the modern era. And I have an update. I've been talking about top 100 movies video that's going to come out. It's not coming out, ever. What I'm doing is top 200, because I'm growing so fast, I almost have 150 subscribers. I'm going to wait till I get 200 subscribers, and that'll be the 200 subscriber special. So that should be fun, and I have it already, and I'm ready to go. Just got to get there. But let's talk Quentin Tarantino. Obviously, has so many great movies, very consistent. Let's just start from the beginning with Reservoir Dogs, one of his best. Just a pretty simple concept, bank heist, but it's just done so well. The dialogue is brilliantly written. He likes that it's kind of a linear story, but it cuts. So you never actually see the bank heist. And by the end, there's some iconic moments that are crazy. Don't want to say too much. Because I think watching it, going in blind, even though most people have seen this movie by now, going in blind is good. Now, True Romance, he technically did not direct, but he wrote, and it really feels like a Tarantino movie, so I'll put it in here. It's going to be in the great tier. Don't think it's the best we've seen from him ever, but it's got an all-star cast. Christian Slater, I guess is an all-star, but Patricia Arquette, Michael Rappaport, who's Bronson Pinchot, Gary Oldman, Dennis Hopper, Christopher Walken, Brad Pitt, Samuel L. Jackson, James Gandolfini shows up, Val Kilmer shows up, so it's got a lot of people. It's actually Pulp Fiction-esque, I would say, and. I would say it's Pulp Fiction-esque in terms of the crazy crime, anything can happen. So, definitely recommend that. Now we have Pulp Fiction, obviously it's going in the God tier, one of the greatest movies ever made. Obviously it's legendary at its time. I mean, what is there to say that hasn't been said here? It's got the all-star cast of all-star cast with John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson, Uma Thurman, Bruce Willis. I don't know if Ving Rhames is an all-star, maybe. Harvey Keitel. I don't know if Eric Stoltz is an all-star, but we got Tim Roth. I would not consider Amanda Plummer an all-star. Christopher Walken, Steve Buscemi, and some other people. But, what is there to say that hasn't been said? Natural Born, and if you haven't seen it, watch it. Natural Born Killers. Gonna be in the low end of the great tier, but it's just such a... Well, you know what? No. It's such a uniquely made film. In terms of the shots, in terms of the editing style, and technically Tarantino didn't direct it, but he wrote it, and it's really a unique film, and it actually predicted, this is before Columbine, this is before many of the school shootings, and the shootings in general, and look at the tagline, the media made them superstars, two victims of traumatized childhoods become lovers and psychopathic serial murderers, irresponsibly glorified by mass media. I mean, that could apply to anything here. The Columbine Killers they named this as one of their inspirations. Now, millions of people have watched this movie. How many of them have actually shot? So I don't think I would blame the movie. I think I would blame them still. But it gives you something to think about. It applies more even today. Because... I believe in the Columbine, tapes or whatever, they said, oh, who's going to play us in the movie version? And then there actually was a documentary that had people play them. So it does, some shooters do get glorified, and get the attention they do want. Now we have From Dusk Till Dawn, I think this is a very, very fun movie. For this, though, ranking the Tarantino movies, he wrote it and starred in it, but it's directed by his friend Robert Rodriguez. I am going to put it in the meh tier. Sorry, not sorry. I do think it's an extremely fun movie, though. It's just not, like one of the best. Jackie Brown. Technically, this is his third film, but he wrote these three. Don't be in the great tier for me. Honestly, I'll put it above these two because it is well written, and I feel like on you always like Jackie Brown. Is that good? But on a revisit, I think it really is good. Again, you got some good people. You got Pam Grier. Now, Pam Grier was popular in the 70s when Quentin Tarantino was, the thing about Quentin Tarantino, he's such a big just movie buff, so he liked the blaxploitation movies she did, so he brought her back. Samuel L. Jackson's in it, Robert De Niro's in it, Michael Keaton's in it, Bridget Fonda's in it, Robert Forster's in it. I get a lot of good people in it. And I think it's just a really enjoyable movie. It has a lot of great dialogue, obviously, and a lot of great action. Can't go wrong with Jackie Brown. Grindhouse, again, I think it's really fun, but the thing about it is Robert Rodriguez just isn't that great a director. But it's a really fun double feature here. Planet Terror, Death Proof. And there's a couple in-between segments, but that's pretty much it. Which one's better? I think I like both of them. Honestly, if you want to be honest, Planet Terror might be better. But, I don't know. Maybe on the rewatch I'll like Death Proof better. Let's see. Next is Inglourious Bastards. Next is actually Kill Bill. This is actually, I consider Kill Bill one movie. And if you haven't, go out on websites and try to find the fan edit of Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair. Now, in 2011, this is how the film was supposed to be. It was supposed to be a 4.5 hour epic. But actually, Harvey Weinstein, the worst thing he's done is he told Tarantino to split it up into 2 parts. And then he had to black and white the violent scenes. Difference is the whole bloody affair is both parts in one, all 10 chapters, no black and white violence scenes. It's the whole thing. And for me, if you see the whole thing, now he released it in theaters in 2011 and never had an official release on DVD, but you could find a fan edit of it that does it justice. Honestly, Kill Bill, it's the best thing he's done. For me, it's the best action movie in terms of the quality of the action. Now, some people consider samurai movies action, then you talk about Seven Samurai. But for me, Seven Samurai lets an action movie more of it's about what surrounds the action. With Kill Bill, yeah, it's straight up the action. Uma Thurman, really amazing in her role there. Definitely her best role, I would say. 4 hours, you're never bored. You're never bored. In fact, you're excited the entire time. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's got the best fight scene in movie history. Some of my favorite moments in movie history. For me, it's easily his best. And I don't know, I just love the movie. Next is Inglourious Bastards. Got to be top of the great tier here. I might move it up to the God tier on rewatch. But I would not say it's as good as these three. It is a masterpiece, I would say. One of the best movies of '09. Don't want to spoil too much, because on the first watch, it's really exciting to see what's going to happen. But it's got a good cast. It's got a lot of funny moments. A lot of great action. Some of the most violence from Tarantino, who has a lot of it. So definitely highly recommended. Django. got to put it above Jackie Brown, below Inglourious Bastards. Brilliantly written. You know, I've never been a huge fan of movies that take place in the South, including westerns, including period pieces from like the Confederate era. I don't know. I just can't get into them. But when there's one I like, then that, you know, it means more. But Jingle and Chained, great acting. Jamie Foxx is probably, I think, his only good role. I mean, he's in a ton of bad stuff, but you can't say he's a bad actor because look at him here. Great. Leo DiCaprio is great. Got a lot of good stuff. So basically, Jamie Foxx plays this Jingo who, a freed slave, obviously unchained, trying to take revenge on his former masters here and rescue his wife. Now, I don't think it's gonna be the guy. I think it's a borderline masterpiece. I don't know if I would consider it one. Maybe on rewatch, but it's got some of his best dialogue and it's got some of his best, violent scenes. So now we go to The Hateful Eight, which is, I think, easily the worst that he's directed. But just nothing happens. Like, there's so much that happens in Kill Bill and Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs and all of these, but nothing much happens. And I do think the script is great. And I do think it is a good movie. I mean, pretty great at best. I on Letterboxd I have it ranked 3.5, but it just doesn't really live up to Tarantino's other films. So it's got to be there. Now we have Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the latest. It's gonna be in the great. Honestly, I liked it better than Django. It's probably because of the setting. I do think. There's a lot of great things about Jingle and Chained, but I did enjoy Once Upon a Time in Hollywood a lot. I really like Leo and Brad Pitt, and the story is pretty crazy by the end, obviously, but very enjoyable. I just like the time. It really sets you in that late '60s time period. And I think it's a great, it's well written, well directed. I don't know. Some people don't like it. I just don't see. I don't know. I don't see what people don't like about it. I thought it was a very fun movie. So he says he's only doing one more for his 10th movie, even though, well, technically, sure. Now on the Joe Rogan podcast, he brought up doing Kill Bill Volume 3 with Uma Thurman and her daughter Maya Hawke playing the roles of the bride and her daughter, which I think would be pretty awesome. I didn't even know that was a possibility. I thought that was just fan theories or whatever, but I didn't know if that's a possibility. That would be. I don't know. I do like Kill Bill as like one movie, but having a volume 3 would be pretty awesome. But yeah, I'm excited to see what he does next, and I'm sad that it'll be his last movie. He says he wants to go out before he starts making bad movies, but how he just don't make bad movies. Not that tough. But yeah, so next time should be my Scorsese ranking. And let's get. I don't want to beg for subscribers, but I do want to finally do my top 200 movies. So let's get the 200 subscribers.